This is Business Today. I'm Marlon Madden. If you're looking for an investment to generate returns, then look to the renewable energy sector. That's the advice from financial analyst with the Fair Trading Commission, FTC, Kathy Bell. She says opportunities abound for those willing to provide power from renewable sources to the national grid as government presses ahead with its plan to make Barbados 100% reliant on renewable forms of energy by 2030.
We have 239 megawatts of legacy plants. We've got 10 megawatt of utility scale solar that's owned by the Light and Power. We've got approximately 24 megawatt of distributed renewable energy owned by individuals. You have 5 megawatt of storage. Where we need to be by 2030, we need approximately 625 megawatts of intermittent RE. That's where we need to be. So imagine that gap from where we are to where we want to be, and that is the investment opportunity that is available to each and every Barbadian.
Bell was addressing a recent event hosted by the Barbados Cooperatives Society at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. She says with the recent introduction of the feed-in tariffs by the FTC, potential investors now have a firm guarantee which allows them to access funding from financial institutions.
One of the problems with the previous renewable energy rider, RER, was that it was a temporary, it was initially introduced as a temporary rate. So when investors went to the bank and said, well, I want to borrow money, the response would have been, okay, so how long will this rate be in place? And the answer would be, well, I'm not really sure. It could change tomorrow because it's a temporary rate. That was since made permanent. Feed-in tariff is a rate that lasts for 20 years. So when you go to the bank, you can estimate your cash flow when you're analyzing your projects. You can estimate your cash flow, you can project your cash flows, so you can take to the bank a project where you know what your income stream should look like. And as investors, that's what you're going to be looking for. The other thing you're going to be looking for is the Light and Power is guaranteed as the off-taker of all the energy that's generated. So you have guaranteed access to the grid.
Additionally, Bell said there is an opportunity for investors in renewable energy systems to get a 10% premium on the feed-in tariffs outlined for each category. Under the feed-in tariff, investors are paid between 36 cents for energy generated from solar systems up to 1 megawatt and 52 cents for energy generated from biomass up to 1 megawatt.
So we said, if you have a group of 15 persons come together for one project, they can get a premium. So that means that the rates that we saw before, the 30-something cents, it means that if you were involved in an approved community shared project, you get 10% more as your feed-in tariff. And I think that if you sit down as a cooperative movement, you can come up with creative ideas of how to make that work for yourself and for your members. And that's one of the things that's going to help the RE sector move forward.
Today, we leave you with news that one of Barbados' budding entrepreneurs is once again showcasing his business on the big stage. The founder and chief executive officer of MedRegis, Dale Trotman, will be seeking to share in this year's Entrepreneurship World Cup winnings of $5 million. The competition comes off on November 12 to 14 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
For me, it means an opportunity to showcase what I have been doing to a wider audience, because this is arguably the biggest entrepreneurial competition globally. So it gives me the opportunity to be in a situation where I am amongst leading businessmen and women, international media, investors, investment groups, and just being in the Middle East and being part of that environment and being able to maximize from that environment.
MedRegis is a suite of applications developed to revolutionize the way health records are documented, stored, and shared. Trotman's involvement in competitions with his creation started in 2013 when he took part in the inaugural Caribbean Innovation Challenge. He has since entered several regional and international competitions, several times sharing in a number of top prizes. In July of this year, MedRegis captured first prize at the national finals of the Entrepreneurship World Cup, giving him access to over half a million US dollars in services from some of the world's tech giants. Trotman is definitely seeking to make his mark on the international stage, showing the rest of the world what Barbados is capable of.
We looked at different markets within throughout the world, see what the problems are, so we don't replicate those problems in the new environment. So one of the things that we're hoping to bring back is to showcase to the world that the Caribbean and Barbados, well, Barbados and the Caribbean, is where health technology innovation should take place and will take place.
However, he's calling for more support for budding entrepreneurs in Barbados once they show promise. That support, he says, does not have to be only financial.
I think when a young Barbadian or any Barbadian reaches a certain height, there should be things in place that people should be able to say, well, we see Mr. Trotman have reached this height. He's going into one of the biggest competitions globally. We have to help him, and there should be something that should be standard, not just done in a haphazard way. It should be something that's standard. From the time you see the level of seriousness and professionalism, that and not really professionalism, the level of seriousness of what they're doing or what they have achieved, there should be somewhere along that path that somebody steps in.
Now for today's financial tip. When seeking to make an investment, it is worth the time to think about what you really want from that investment. Knowing your needs, goals, and appetite for risk is a good place to start. That's been Business Today. Remember, you can get more business and news by logging on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribing to our e-paper, and liking us on Facebook. I'm Marlon.